This is Nigeria Today on TVC News. Thank you for joining us. We'll begin in Abuja, where the federal government has again confirmed the death of 8 persons, with 46 wounded and several others kidnapped after the attack on passenger train in Kaduna. At the Federal Executive Council meeting led by President Muhammadu Buhari, a minute silence was observed in honor of the victims of the terrorist attack on the train. The president had earlier ordered the military and security outfits to go after the terrorists, rescue all kidnapped passengers, and bring the terrorists to justice. The weekly virtual Federal Executive Council meeting started by 10 a.m. with the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, confirming the number of casualties. And barely 2 days after, the Kaduna State Government has now confirmed details of passengers on the Abuja-Kaduna train service AK9, which was attacked by terrorists on Monday. The manifest reveals that about 398 passengers bought tickets for the trip, but only 362 boarded the train through the recognized turnstile. The list does not include National Railway Corporation staff and security officials who were on board. Security agencies had earlier reported that 8 bodies were recovered and 26 persons were injured during the attack. These counter earlier widely reported figure of 970 passengers being on the train. The confirmation of casualties from multiple sources also nullifies erroneous reports that the train was rescued and all the passengers unhurt. Authorities say investigations are still ongoing to ascertain the status of the passengers who were on board the train and remain unaccounted for. In the meantime, the Nigeria Governors Forum wants the appropriate authorities to immediately install all necessary safeguards to forestall future acts of banditry on rail tracks, roads, ports, and borders of the country. The forum describes the attack as a horrific act orchestrated by wicked merchants of death. It says security intelligence and the ability to act on intelligence gathered must be improved on. In a statement issued by the forum, its chairman, Kayode Fahimi, said if the intention of the murderers is targeted at disrupting the peaceful coexistence of Nigerians, they will not succeed. The forum commended the bravery of security forces in curtailing the magnitude of havoc the attack was intended to visit on innocent travelers and prayed that God grants those who lost their lives eternal peace and the injured speedy recovery. And Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has assured citizens that the government is working hard to put an end to the sad tale of insecurity in the state. The governor disclosed that efforts are in place to establish a military theater command in the Northwest region, and the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Lucky Rabo, will be visiting Kaduna State next week to carry out evaluations. The governor revealed this when he visited Kagodo Chiefdom in Kaura local government area of the state to sympathize with the people over the recent terrorist attacks that claimed at least 37 lives. The chief of Kagodo, Ufuwai Bonnet, says his people now live in fear as the attackers have promised to invade their communities again.
I believe that the level of terrorism in the Northwest and parts of North Central require that the federal government sets up a theater command similar to what we have in the Northeast. And I think that is being considered. Indeed, the Chief of Defense Staff is visiting here in a few days to continue evaluating this situation. So that is in the works. I want to assure our people that the government is doing all it can to put an end to this problem.
Whereas we don't know the format of the conflict. You can't find somebody who has arms and you don't have. So yeah, that's why I think the heart of that we're coming back again. You know you can't do anything. But Your Excellency, I'm taking too much time. All that I want is to best the police authority, the military authority to be meeting with us frequently.
In Osun State, the Aragbiji of Iragbiji, Oba Abdurrashid Olabomi, has called on the Inspector General of Police to ensure police officers involved in the killing of Sahid Olabomi is brought to justice. While addressing journalists, Oba Olabomi also accused the Commandant Mopol Base 39 Oshobo, Sebastian Mokwa, of frustrating efforts to get justice by the family of the deceased. Rafiu Hamid reports.
On the 27th of July 2021, a police sergeant, Adamu Garba, was said to have shot dead Said Olabomi, who was riding a motorcycle. The officer was said to have been dismissed immediately, but appealed his dismissal. Addressing journalists in his palace, Oba Abdurrashid Olabomi says the case must not be swept under the carpet.
We now call on Mr. President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. We call on the Inspector General of Police. We call on committees responsible for police affairs at the Senate and the National Assembly. We call on all governors, all opinion leaders, civil society organizations. We call on all media and people that matter in this society to come up, support us, and pressure the Nigerian police to do the needful. One, to dismiss the officers, and to allow the officer to face the law.
A brother to the deceased, Tajuddin Olabomi, said since the case has been filed before the State High Court, the defendants have failed to show up.
Since we have started going to the courts, no single police officer came. The judge will always ask, where is the defendant? We didn't see any of them. They didn't come. Then the next thing we hear is that that officer, that is Officer Garba, so Sergeant Garba, has been exonerated from that case.
The State Police Public Relations Officer denies allegation that the suspect is being shielded.
Immediately the incident happened, the Commissioner of Police, CP Olawale Olokode, PSC, asked the commander to make sure to ensure of the arrest of the culprit and other people that were there. Sergeant Garba was found wanting in the trial, and he was dismissed. He appealed there, and as human being, like any other court, he has the right to appeal, and it is the result of the appeal that we are waiting for.
He appealed to the family of the deceased to be patient with an assurance that justice will be served. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News.
Ogun State, where residents of Abuja-Kaduna, the capital, have expressed concern about court clashes gradually threatening the peace of the state. They want government and security agencies to wake up to the challenge and ensure incidents like this are wiped off the state. Kazim Olowe reports.
For some days now, residents of Abuja-Kaduna, especially those living in Pansheke, Oluwo, Adigbe, Isale Abetu, Ashiru, Oke-Aregba and other areas of the state capital have been living in fear due to court clashes. Sources confirm that the rivalries between Eye and Aye confraternity, and it has extended to Shagamu area of the state, and many lives have been lost to the battle. Residents say they want the government and security agencies to come out in full force and send those threatening the peace of the state out, or to get them arrested in order to face the full weight of the law.
If you look at the number of casualties from last week to this very moment, it's getting to like almost 15 and above people have died.
It is something that is disturbing, very, very disturbing. So in other words, it means nobody is safe in the state. That's the implication.
Our traditional rulers, even the government must come out to take a decisive position on this. We must advance our security.
Last time they struck at Pansheke, traders were closing their shops and they couldn't sell.
While reacting to the situation, the police public relations officer in Ogun State says no fewer than 18 persons have been arrested and policemen are still on the streets, picking them up one after another in order to ensure sanity.
18 people were arrested that very day, and I believe it is the spillover of data that extended to Shagamu, where we have a pocket of violence, I think a day or two ago. And immediately we had that in information, the Commissioner of Police, Ogun State Police Command, CP Lanre Bankole, directed the area commander Shagamu to coordinate the operation in that axis.
He urged residents, especially landlords, not to shield suspected cultists, noting that they are involved in many other crimes committed in the state.
We are just calling them cultists. They are not. They have everything that constitutes crime with them. They are murderers. They are armed robbers. They are kidnappers. They are rapists. They are everything that you can think of.
The public relations officer also urged other stakeholders to support the police in ensuring that people live peacefully in the state. Kazim Olowe, TVC News, Abeokuta.
Here in Lagos, the countdown to the 7 days eviction notice served on traders at the AHMAD section of the Eco Bridge is gradually winding down. But the traders are still appealing to the state government to come up with an alternative spot for them. Sarah Yeku has more.
Less than 24 hours to the expiration of a 7-day ultimatum, traders have shelved days of protest to remove their goods and property around and under the AHMAD section of Eco Bridge. The fire incident, which erupted at about 2 a.m. last Wednesday, reduced a once busy market to ashes. Traders looking lost. Some are standing around the debris, uncertain of what the future holds. It's a race against time. In the midst of the chaos, one of them tell me, they are coming tomorrow. We don't have much time. If they meet us here, they will take everything. On Monday, during the government inspection of the damage on the Eco Bridge, traders drawn from 6 market associations had tried appealing to the government to rescind the ultimatum, but that didn't seem to work. Stationed under the bridge is an army vehicle and personnel on hand to enforce the directive.
We are ready to obey them. There's nothing we can do. Nobody is more than the government. We have no power. We just have to obey them and remove all the containers. And that's what you can see we are doing now. There's no space on the Lagos Island that they can provide for all those people here. But we just have to obey them. The laws comes first before any other thing. So we just have to obey them. There's nothing we can do. So we are still appealing. They can still reconsider us. That's why we are doing all this. It's not as if we are saying we don't go agree. We don't agree, we don't accept. But we are appealing to them to please consider us.
The Eco Bridge has since been shut, with motorists along the 3rd Mainland Bridge and adjoining bridges having to spend longer hours in traffic. The 7-day ultimatum was given to all traders and illegal occupants under the bridges in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. But it remains to be seen whether, while Akpongbo Ibutero is cleared, will the government go ahead to enforce this order in other affected areas. Sarah Yeku, TVC News, Lagos.
Well, respite might just be on the way for pay TV subscribers in Nigeria if the words of lawmakers are anything to go by. We have details of that and other stories in just a moment. Stay with TVC News. You're watching Nigeria Today. The Nigerian Senate has directed all pay TV service providers to immediately review their bouquet prices downwards in tandem with prevailing economic realities in Nigeria. The upper legislative house strongly kicked against the intended hike in subscription fees by pay TV providers following a motion moved by Benue South lawmaker Senator Abba Moro. National Assembly correspondent Tijesu Adeoye reports.
Nigeria currently faces harsh economic challenges, and the impact is felt on a daily basis. Prices of commodities and services are on a rapid increase, and Nigerians are finding it difficult to keep up. Recently, a pay TV provider, MultiChoice Nigeria, announced an increase of about 13.3% in its subscription fees. This has led to an uproar among its subscribers as they complain that the hike has become a regular occurrence with no tangible reasons ever given to justify the hikes. Now the Senate is adding its voice to the matter and urging the pay TV providers to be more sensitive to the plight of their customers.
MultiChoice has again raised the cost of its DSTV and GoTV bundles, stating them as follows. DSTV Premium, 21,000. DSTV Compact Plus, 14,250. Compact, 9,000.
There's no regulation at all. These people increase the fees payable on this service at reckless abandon. They do that whenever they like, without considering the service, the quality of service they're providing to Nigerians.
I support that, their fees or whatever, should be scaled downward. And at the same time, there should be a surcharge to make sure that Nigerians also benefit in another way.
The Senate has constituted a 7-man ad hoc committee to carry out a comprehensive investigation into how other countries are billed by the pay TV service providers.
All these things that we have listed, Ministry of Communications, NCC and so on to do, I think we should investigate them. They should also come to our committee, as well as the operators. Let's, at the end of the day, be able to say this is the kind of pay system that Nigerians should pay.
Nigerians may soon heave a sigh of relief over the hike in pay TV tariff that has gotten the attention of lawmakers. Pay TV providers will soon be forced to introduce a pay-per-view model of subscription as against the month-to-month prepaid model currently in place. From the National Assembly, Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Politics now. The newly elected national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdoulaye Adamu, has taken over from his predecessor. The 7th senator, who is a supporter of President Muhammadu Buhari, was also a former governor of Nasarawa State. Earlier today, Mr. Adamu received the mantle of leadership from the former chairman, Mai Malabuni, at the party's headquarters. The governor of Yobe State led the National Caretaker and Convention Planning Committee since 2020. Mr. Adamu emerged chairman at the APC convention, which held at the Eagle Square in Abuja last Saturday. More than 70 others were also confirmed as new members of the National Working Committee. Away from politics, the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, says it has attained the coveted maturity level 3 regulatory agency of the World Health Organization's global benchmarking program. This makes it the 3rd country on the African continent to be on this level. Director General of the agency, Mojisola Adeyeye, made the disclosure to journalists in Abuja. Kemi Balogun has more.
The World Health Organization benchmarking program is a method deployed by the global body to assess the maturity level of national regulatory authorities. For Nigeria's Drug Control and Regulatory Agency, it has come a long way to get to this point on the global map.
In June 2019, WHO came to NAFDAC physically to start the benchmarking process, and out of the 868 recommendations, we were able to make over 600, and we had 147 left. They told us that we have attained maturity level 3. That was 25th of February, but that this should not be announced until we see the letter.
All recommendations got cleared by October 2021, making Nigeria the 3rd country on the African continent to achieve this feat. With this, the country's capacity of vaccine manufacturing has now been heightened.
Whatever we do in Nigeria today is accepted globally because of this achievement that we've been able to achieve, announce today. The government of Nigeria has supported us in terms of investing in strengthening our regulatory capacity.
Without maturity level 3, we will not be able to manufacture vaccine. That is the first immediate benefit. Now we can manufacture our own vaccine because NAFDAC is stronger. And we are building the vaccine lab now in Oshodi. By the middle of the year or early 3rd quarter, that lab will be ready.
The WHO Global Benchmarking Tool maturity levels of the global medicines regulatory authorities range from 1 to 4, with the best level being 4.
The regulation will be reviewed every 3 years by WHO,
and NAFDAC would want to attain a level 4 within the next couple of years. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
The National Orientation Agency says it is committed to sensitizing Nigerians on the need to move away from a consumer to a producing economy through diversification and prioritizing local products. That is according to the Director General of the agency, Garba Abari. Mariam Mohammed reports.
Nigeria is an import-dependent country, indeed a dumping ground for all manner of industrial consumables from different countries. The country produces a mere fraction of what it uses and imports the bulk of goods consumed imported. Most citizens blame the leaders and elites for this, as they are yet to address challenges of production since the nation's independence. But since the inception of the Buhari administration, policies have been focused on diversifying the nation's economy from the importation of goods and services. There is an urgent need to deploy and sensitize citizens to act in ways that encourage local production. At this event, leaders from the National Orientation Agency urged Nigerians to play their roles in patronizing made-in-Nigeria products, as it is the only way to develop the nation's economy.
All Nigerians to always patronize our locally made products and services. It is our path to economic growth and development.
Nigerians, we need to open up our eyes and know that this is where profit will come to us.
Oneli Chimdalu, a participant at the exhibition, came to showcase her made-in-Nigeria charcoal stove worth 6,000 naira. She took us through how it works and its benefits. She wants Nigerians to key into this initiative, as it will bring economic growth to the nation.
We're very, very proud of what we do. We should be very, very proud of the resources we have. And we should try to boost our economy by patronizing Nigerian-made products.
The agency urged Nigerians to look inwards by supporting manufacturers and exploiting their potentials in order to develop the nation's economy. Mariam Mohammed, TVC News, Abuja.
Well, that's it on Nigeria Today. Thank you for staying with us. There'll be more news, more stories actually at 10. Stay with us.